Alright, welcome back everybody. I don't know what day it is for you. It took me almost a whole day in order to get back. So, 12 hours. So, welcome back to 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. I've got about 15 minutes left that I gotta play for this episode, so let's get it over with.
You haven't said a thing so far, have you?
Oh yeah, the ninth man.
What number are you? Hey, I'm talking to you.
Isn't it obvious? There are 9 people here. And you know who numbers 1 through 8 are. I'm the only one left.
So you're 9?
Yeah.
What's your code name?
Code name?
What do you want us to call you? We all made up names. You should too.
I don't need one.
Why not?
Because I am not gonna stay here with you.
You've got some sort of plan?
I do.
Yeah? What's that?
You sure you want to know?
Yeah?
All right, let me show you. I'm gonna do this!
Yeah,
Hey! What the hell do you
the
think
ninth
you're
man is
doing?
crazy.
Stay back! Ah! If you get any closer, I'll cut her open! Yeah, that's right.
See if I can go ahead and see. Okay, so it won't let me back up. Oh, here we go. Alright. Stay back. Suddenly the man's hand dove inside his pocket. What? He held it to Clover's pale, quivering neck. There we go. The man's smile was neither friendly nor reassuring. Sweat poured down his neck, soaking the collar of his shirt.
Clover, are you all right?
The prince, Snake's voice sounded oddly concerned.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Her voice shook, making her words even less
What
convincing.
the hell are you trying to do? I told you. This is my plan.
What are you gonna do to her, you sick son of a bitch?
Don't worry. I'm not gonna do anything to her. If she just does what I tell her to, I'll let her go.
He started to move backward, slowly keeping his grip on Clover.
Slowly. That's right. Just follow me.
Keeping their distance, Junpei and the others followed. Eventually, the man reached the wall. He gave a start as his back touched it, then glanced around quickly and spoke.
Here. Verify. The left. Look on your left. Do you see the device on the wall? Place your hand on the scanner panel, the round part.
What if I don't?
The man's nostrils flared and he looked like he was about to choke.
Are you an idiot? What do you think? I could slit your throat right now. I'll kill you if I have to. All I need is your bracelet. Just do it. Do it now.
Pressed the knife against Clover's neck.
Okay,
Hard.
I'll do it.
Slowly, she stretched out her left hand toward the device.
Like this?
Her back was to it, and she had to feel around for a moment before she found the circular panel. It made a cold electronic noise, and on the display above her hand, an asterisk appeared.
So that's how it works. He called that round part of the device the scanner panel. If we put our left hand on it, our bracelet number gets entered into the device. Then, should you total the numbers on your numbered bracelets and find that the digital root of that number is equal to the number of that door,
The door will open. Junpei shifted his eyes to the door itself. The number on it was
door
5.
why does this guy know so much about how this thing works? It's like he knows exactly what to do.
Good. Good. You're done. Next.
His bloodshot eyes crept from person to person until finally they stopped on the lion, Ace.
You, right? You're the one with the #1 bracelet, right?
Yes, I am. So?
Then you're next. Just verify your number like this little brat did. What are you doing? Do it! Don't you care what happens to her?
Okay, just calm down.
Ace held up his hands, palms out. The ninth man jerked his chin to the device.
I'm coming over.
Toward the device, there we go. Slowly, cautiously, Ace moved towards the device. For what seemed like an agonizing eternity, he reached it.
All right, this is what you wanted, right?
Ace nodded and placed his hand on the scanner panel. The device beeped again and a second asterisk appeared.
Now the device has both Clover and Ace's numbers, 4 and 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. It's the same as the number written on the door, but it won't open yet.
Only 3 to 5 people can pass through one numbered door.
One more person. If what Zero said is true, he needs one more person. Who? Who does he need?
Get back!
His voice shook, but the knife he held to Clover's throat made his words a command. Ace took 2-3 steps back.
Farther! More than that! Go all the way back!
Okay.
Slowly, Ace did what he was told. The ninth man's lips curled into a cruel, twisted smile.
Don't tell me.
That was when Junpei understood his plan.
Clover's 4 and Ace's 1. Added to the ninth man's 9, 4 plus 1 plus 9 is 14, and the digital root of 14, 1 plus 4, is 5. In other words...
Thank God you were all so cooperative. Now I can get out of this nightmare.
He pressed his own hand against the scanner panel. Third asterisk appeared on the screen. He dropped his hand to the lever on the side of the device and pulled. The door opened with a heavy metallic groan.
Good! I don't need you anymore!
He let go of
Wait!
Clover. Junpei leapt toward the ninth man, but he wasn't fast enough.
She's all yours!
The man shoved Clover and hopped through the door.
Okay. Have a good one, guys. I'm going off ahead now. Well then, goodbye!
He raised his hand and waved, a twisted smirk on his face. Then he was gone. The door ground shut with a dull clang of metal on metal.
Clover, are you all right?
Snake ran to Clover's side as she lay on the floor.
Yeah, I'm fine.
She climbed unsteadily to her feet, and once there, leaned heavily on Snake's shoulder for support.
Damn it!
Junpei ran to the door.
Bastard!
The others followed him. Several pairs of hands grabbed a hold of the handles and pulled.
Open, damn it!
They grunted and strained, but...
Shit! It won't budge.
That was when Lotus, the dancer, spoke. Her voice was quiet.
Do you hear something?
Like, what?
Like some sort of beeping.
Junpei pressed his ear against the cold metal of the door. The others did the same.
You're right. I can hear it too.
What is it?
Then they heard something else. It was the ninth man.
Why isn't it stopping? God damn it! You lied!
Lied?
This wasn't supposed to happen! This is wrong! This is wrong!
His voice shook with fear. Safe on the outside, they stepped back from the door, and looked at one another.
What is happening in there?
Open the door, please! I'm begging you! Help me! Please get me out of here! Get me out of here!
Ah, God damn it!
Junpei grabbed a hold of the device. He slammed his hand on the scanner panel. Nothing happened.
Why? Why won't it work? Engaged? Is it because it's occupied?
Oh my god, there's no time left! Listen, I was lied to! He lied to me! He put me in here! It was him! He killed me! It was him!
The explosion rocked the room. Instinctively, they ducked, then stood up slowly when they realized there was no danger. No one spoke. Silence filled the room.
A beep?
All eyes turned toward it.
Did that thing just make that sound?
The display changed from engaged to vacant.
Let's see if we can open it.
7, the mountain swallowed hard.
Okay.
Junpei nodded and placed his hand on the scanner panel. Red asterisks appeared on the LCD panel.
Well, it registered my bracelet number, but it won't open with one person. We need at least 2 more people.
Okay. So 5 and 1 is 6. 6 and 8 is 14, and the digital root of 14 is 5.
Ace, Lotus, you think you could give me a hand here?
The pun was a little too on the nose, but the mood was still grim. Both Santa and June lifted their hands silently. He verified, and she felt... Hold on. Both Ace and Lotus. Okay, so I'm guessing that's a glitch in the novel. It's Ace and Lotus who had to add their numbers to Junpei's bracelet in order to make this work, so...
5 plus 1 plus 8 equals 14.
Yep.
The digital root of 14, 1 plus 4
4
equals
plus 5.
5. This should do it. Now we just need to pull the lever on the side.
You guys ready? I'm gonna open it.
Junpei grabbed the lever and looked back over his shoulder. They stiffened and nodded. Junpei nodded back and set his mouth in a grim line. Then he slowly lowered the lever. There was a metallic groan and the door slid open. A breath of air drifted out of it, carrying a stench that nearly made them gag. Junpei grimaced and put a hand over his mouth.
Oh my god!
Good God.
Lotus and Ace shuddered. 7 grunted.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
Even Santa's voice shook.
He blew up.
It appeared that Santa was right. The hallway on the other side of the door was splattered with chunks of torn flesh and dark red blood. The shriek echoed across the room. It had come from June. Then her strength left her, and she dropped. As Junpei turned to catch her, the door groaned shut. She crumpled to the floor.
June!
Are you okay? Junpei dropped to his knees and put his arm around her shoulders. That was when he noticed. Her whole body was feverish. She was radiating intense heat.
What the hell? Where'd this fever come from?
Okay, so I'm not going to tell you what that is, but by the end, you will understand what that fever was and why it suddenly came across her upon seeing the 9th man's death. It's a long, complicated story. June didn't answer. Her face looked like wax, and her whole body began to shake.
All right, okay, let's just rest for a minute, okay? You think you can walk?
She nodded weakly. Junpei lifted June to her feet and guided her to a nearby chair.
Here we go.
As gently as he could, he set her down in it.
How are you feeling? Are you all right?
She nodded, and as she did, a single huge tear rolled down the side of her face.
Why did this happen?
Her voice cracked, broken by misery and grief, and choked by
Why did
sobs.
this happen?
Junpei
Do
spun
any
around.
of you know what the fuck is going on here? Who's Zero? What's this Nonary game? Come on! Anybody? Anything? What the hell is going on? What are we doing here?
No one spoke. Ace, Snake, Santa, Clover, Seven, and Lotus. They simply stood there, 7 pairs of downcast eyes and 7 grim lines for mouths. June's body shook with silent sobs. They slowed as the minutes ticked by, and eventually they stopped. And switching back to adventure mode. Then suddenly, in the cold, heavy silence that had enveloped them like a thick fog, a bell began to ring. The clock in the central hall. 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And then on the 10th ring it stopped. The sound of the bell faded away into silence. So 1 hour out of 9 hours is gone, and we haven't even started the main part of the game.
It's 10 o'clock then.
They
That
said
means
what
it's been
each
an
one
hour
of them had
since
been
Zero's
thinking.
little announcement.
Seven's deep voice echoed across the room.
Fuck! I've had enough of this crap!
Santa leapt to his feet, his
How
fists
long are we
clenched.
gonna pussyfoot around like this? We've only got 8 hours until this time limit Zero is going on about is up! Let's get going already! Go!
Santa's outburst fell on deaf ears. No one seemed to agree with him. They stared back at him, their eyes blank and their faces tired. Finally, Lotus
No,
spoke.
I refuse. I'm not gonna end up like him.
Him? You mean the 9th man?
Of course, who else?
Well, in his mind's eye, Junpei saw the corpse again.
Blood. Oh. Blood and pieces of flesh. That's no way for a person to die.
I think he just screwed up. He probably set off some sort of trap, and that killed him. I'm not gonna screw up like that. I'm getting out of here alive.
Boy Snake is
What's
bursting
so
out in
goddamn
maniacal
funny?
laughter.
Oh, my apologies. You were just so very confident. I couldn't help myself.
What the fuck?
I think you've mistaken the situation. Huh? The 9th man's death. It had nothing to do with the trap. Or at least not the sort of trap you imagine it did.
Then?
He broke one of Zero's rules. That was why he died. Quite simple if you think about it. You still don't... All right. How about you take a moment and think back to what Zero said? Specifically, what did he say about the number of people?
He said only 3 to 5 people can pass through one numbered door, right?
And all 3 to 5
And
must
after that?
participate.
You've forgotten the relevant part. What did Zero say?
That everyone who verified had to go.
All those who enter must leave, and all who enter must contribute.
Yep.
Right? I think it was something like that. Whatever it was, it means that groups of less than 3 or more than 5 can't go through.
That is correct. A gold star for you, Junpei. The 9th man, however, broke that rule. He tried to pass through a numbered door by himself. That was why he was executed.
And Zero's watching us from somewhere. Making sure we don't break any rules.
Oh, I'm not so sure of that.
Why not?
Because this execution system is entirely automatic. You didn't notice?
The blind
There's
guy
no need for
is
him
the
to
one with the
monitor us.
insight, just saying.
What do you mean?
Very well. I see it must be me who tells you. I've waited long enough, I suppose. I had hoped Zero might spare me the trouble, but that seems increasingly unlikely.
Do you know something?
Well, I know a great many things, but yes.
What is it you know?
Here.
A card? What does it say?
Snake removed a card from the pocket of his jacket.
See for yourself.
With a flourish, he presented it to Ace, who took a close look at it and he spoke.
Come on now, what's the point of giving me this?
Give me that.
Santa snatched the card away from Ace, but his expression of disgust quickly turned to one of confusion.
Huh? The hell is this?
Seven tugged it out of Santa's hands. I'm guessing it's going to be in Braille, but I don't remember this part of the story as well as I would like to. That's why I'm going through this with you guys.
I see.
The card went from Seven to Lotus, from Lotus to June, and finally to Junpei. He looked at it and understood.
This is Braille.
Yeah, okay. I always wondered how Snake was able to read his note, and I completely forgot that Zero had given it to him in something that only he could read. Braille, the written language of the blind. The card was covered with small embossed bumps. Junpei could recognize it, but he certainly couldn't read it.
Sorry, guys. I can't read this. Here, have it back.
Junpei handed the card back to Snake, who nodded at him with a small smirk.
Okay, that was fun. What's so important about that card?
I found it in my pocket. I can only assume it is a message from Zero.
From Zero?
A message?
What does it say?
Suddenly, everyone was crowding around Snake, desperate to hear what the message said. Santa especially looked as if he were about to grab hold of Snake and shake the answers from him. Snake
Calm
raised his
down
hand.
now. No need to panic. You don't need to force me. I'll read it.
Junpei swallowed hard and waited for him to start.
Bracelet number 2. Since you are not blessed with sight, I shall bless you, and only you, with information. I shall tell you of the function of the red, of the dead, and of the bracelet.
The red is the recognition device. It will verify your number. Beside every numbered door, you will find a red. The dead is the deactivation device. It does exactly what it says. Once you have passed through the numbered door, you must use dead to stop the detonator in your bracelet. But perhaps you are wondering, what does this detonator detonate? I am afraid this might be something of a surprise. I have placed a small bomb inside of you and the people whom you are about to meet. You swallowed it while you were unconscious. I have no doubt, by the time you read this note, the bomb will have passed your stomach and found its way to your small intestine. In other words, you will be unable to regurgitate it, as you do not try. As I mentioned before, the bracelet on your left hand contains a detonator. Think of it as a remote fuse, or timer, for the bomb in your body. There is only one condition which will cause it to detonate. That condition is that you enter a numbered door. Once you have done so, the timer will activate, no matter who you may be. You will have 81 seconds. If, after that time, the detonator has not been deactivated, it will send a signal to the bomb in your body, instructing it to explode. In order to deactivate the detonator, Every person who verified their number at the red must also verify their numbers at the dead. Once all numbers have been verified by the dead, you need only pull the lever at its side, and the countdown will cease. Anyone who does not verify their number at the red will find themselves unable to verify their number. You must also keep in mind that the numbered doors will close automatically after 9 seconds have passed.
Okay, so hang on. That is to say, if you should pass through a numbered door without first verifying your number at the red, in 81 seconds you will be dead. You must keep in mind the numbered doors close automatically after 9 seconds have passed. Okay, sorry about that. So apparently hitting square again will go into skip mode, which I don't need to access just yet, since I haven't beaten the game once yet.
So long as the doors open, the dead will malfunction. You would do well to remember this. Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets. There are only 2 ways to do so. 1. You escape from this ship. 2. Your heartbeat, which is 0.
In other words, hang on. Once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship, or detects that its wearer's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically. Okay.
There is no other way to remove your bracelet. If you attempt to force it off, or disable the detonator, the bomb within you will immediately explode.
This is all the information which I can impart to you. How you choose to use it is for you to decide. If used wisely, you can eliminate those who might be a danger to you. For a time, you would be able to control your fate. I wish you the best of luck.
Wow. That took a turn. Snake finished reading and carefully returned the card to his pocket.
So it's saying only those who verify their numbers at the red can pass through the numbered doors. Teams can't add or subtract people after they're scanned in. The Reds, Deads, and Bracelets enforce the rules. They're judge, jury, and executioner.
Mostly the executioner, but yeah.
Shit! A fucking bomb! Come out! Come out, damn it!
There's a bomb inside me. Oh. What made Zero think creating this horror show of a game was a good idea? All right.
Something very complicated.
I'm gonna ask one more time. Do any of you know anything about Zero? Actually, I saw him. I saw Zero when I got grabbed. I didn't see his face, though. Son of a bitch was wearing some kind of gas mask. What the hell? Come on, guys, give me something. You know, like surprise or something?
I saw that too.
I did as well.
Me too. I didn't see inside the mask, though. That mask, it was really scary.
Huh? Oh, so all of our abductions were the same. We were taken from home at midnight. The person claiming to be Zero had a mask on. There was white smoke, and then each of us passed out. We woke up to find ourselves on D-Deck, in a room with a 3-level bunk bed.
How about you, Seven? Did the same happen to you?
Oh, me? Yeah, well,
Mine was just like the rest of yours.
Okay, that's good enough for now. So, I have a question. Snake and Clover, you were both kidnapped from the same room, and you woke up together. So, what's the deal with the two of you anyway?
We're siblings.
Siblings?
Yes. Snake is my older brother, obviously. That means I'm his little sister. That really so hard to understand?
She is correct, of course. Are you, surprised?
Well, yeah, but...
Why? There are other people here with connections to one another. Those two, for instance.
Oh, you mean between Jumpy and me?
Ah, yes. You did say you were childhood friends, didn't you?
Wait, you went to school together?
Yeah?
Well, yeah.
Hey, you think maybe we could figure out who Zero is this way?
Yeah, you're right. You connect the dots between the victims, and that leads you to the perp. Textbook stuff.
Junpei, June, does any of this ring a bell?
Ring a bell.
Ring a bell?
Well, perhaps you went to school with the son of a multimillionaire.
A millionaire?
Son?
Well, someone bought this boat and set up all of this. Whoever Zero is, they must be incredibly rich.
Well, we can't be sure of that. To me, this seems as though it's the work of an organization, not an individual. Most likely, Zero is simply the representative of a larger group.
What sort of organization?
It could be a number of things. An army, perhaps, or a research group. Perhaps this is all some sort of psychological experiment.
If it is, then it's a pretty fucked up experiment. I mean, come on! A guy's dead! I don't know who the hell this Zero asshole is, but I know for sure he's gotta be pretty fucked up in the head to do all this.
Oh, yeah. Zero, particularly this Zero, is...
If this was all one guy,
but there's a reason
he's
for
got
it.
some serious issues.
I thought we were finished with that topic.
But then what should we do?
We should talk it through.
Oh my god, enough! All we're doing is talking! Talking won't solve anything! It can't help us find our way out of here! Really sure you want to just sit around? We've only got 7.5 hours left. We already wasted an hour and a half of our 9 hours.
You're right.
Very well then. There's only one way for us to proceed.
Sure not gonna be fun running around knowing we gotta jump when Zero says jump.
Well, it's stupid to just sit around here doing nothing.
Thanks to Snake's card, at least we have some idea of how this all works.
Correct. And so long as we all follow the rules, we will most likely be all right.
But
But what?
who's going to go in which door?
Oh, right. Because
That's right. We can't have any more than 5 people in one door.
certain combinations will unlock the doors. There are enough people
All 8
to
of
open
us
both
can't go
doors
in the
with
same
different
door.
combinations. I just gotta remember
Then it would
which door is
seem
the
we will
right
have
door.
to split up.
Where the timeline I'm wanting to start.
Wait. I'm telling you now, there is no way in hell that I'm going into door 5.
Come on now, don't be selfish.
Call me whatever the hell you want. I'm not going in there. If I'm going to have to walk through all that blood, then I'd rather stay here.
And we were doing so well.
Sorry, but I ain't going in there either. Someone else can go into door 5.
Oh, Santa, not you too.
Hey man, I just bought these shoes. If you think I'm getting some creepy dude's blood all over him, you got another thing coming.
What the hell, man? Weren't you the one who kept saying we should get going?
Yeah, so?
Give me just a moment.